Hey folks, how's it going? Good, great. Well, it's been a while and I've been playing a lot of video games lately, what with the quarantine and all. Some games that I really want to talk about. So, instead of making an individual review for every single game and fry my brain even further, I'm going to condense these games into one video as a brief catch-up. I may do a full video on some of these later, who knows. So let's get right to it. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Hearts of Iron. If not, it's a wartime RTS from Paradox Studios that takes you through the Second World War. You can play as any nation in the world at the time, and effectively break the world in hundreds of different ways. Honestly, really good game. Great gameplay, fantastic OST, and massive replayability. But that's not why I bring this game up. I've actually been playing quite a bit of a certain mod for this game called Old World Blues. This mod is an incredible fusion of Hearts of Iron and Fallout. Taking place in the western United States and Mexico, you get to see not only many of the events leading up into Fallout New Vegas, but you get a glimpse at the state of Mexico, and even some pretty cool tribes. This mod not only changes up the music, aesthetic, and models, but almost every nation has its own focus tree, they added river warfare, and the tech tree has been completely reworked. If you own Hearts of Iron and want some more out of the game, this right here, this is what you want. I have put over 1,000 hours into Kerbal Space Program over the years. Mostly because I would send expeditions into deep space and leave the game on overnight, but you know, details. However, it had been a while and I decided to start a new career save. And I had a blast building, launching, learning literal rocket science, and struggling to make it to the moon and back all over again. The amount of building possibilities are staggering, with you being able to build everything from a jet plane to a literal TIE fighter. But you'll build, and build, and build again. And in time, you'll discover that sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Meant to do it. You know, I'd had my eye on this game for a while, despite not really knowing what it was about. Well, what it is about is two siblings attempting to survive not only a supernaturally enhanced bubonic plague, but also the Inquisition and the 100 Years' War. This game shows some extremely clever survival stealth gameplay, as there are many different ways to overcome enemies, from sneaking to open combat, and even luring your foes into the thousands of bloodthirsty rats. Just remember, you are not a trained soldier. Honestly, with its stunning visuals, solid gameplay, and incredibly clever story, I'd recommend giving this one a shot. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be in the editing booth of a nightly news channel as your country slowly begins falling into authoritarianism? Yeah, me neither. But now that you are wondering, Not for Broadcast lets you do that very thing. With 4 broadcasts so far, you'll need to ensure that the cameras are held on the right people, all no words are censored, the right commercials are played at the right time, and all interference must be avoided. Despite being early access, this game already shows promise with its replayability, dry humor, and overall challenging gameplay. I'm very curious to see where they go from here. In case you're wondering, I had literally never played Minecraft before about a month ago. My major reason being I was sure it was a fine game, but I knew once I started playing it I would get literally nothing done. Turns out I was right. I have played basically nothing but Minecraft for the past month. But I mean, nothing really to say here. It's Minecraft. Really good game. So, this is the first EA game that I had willingly and knowingly purchased in a whole long time. And I'll be honest, I don't regret it. This is a fantastic blend of Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Dark Souls, Sekiro, and Mass Effect. You will travel across 5 different worlds, duel actually competent stormtroopers, I still can't believe it, and solve a myriad of puzzles. On top of all of that, this tells a grand and original story without having to rely on the films. Though I've long thought that the Star Wars video games usually tell better stories than the films, but yeah. But seriously, a single-player Star Wars game with no online multiplayer, no microtransactions, and an actually complete game. I almost don't believe EA had anything to do with this, but I would recommend it. I am actually in the process of playing Heavy Rain right now. I didn't realize that it had been ported to PC last year, or I probably would have picked it up sooner. I really dug Indigo Prophecy way back when I reviewed it in 2010, and I always figured I'd like this game. Well, so far, I really do. Now, I will point out that while I am incredibly engaged, I seem to recall having the ending spoiled for me at some point. Thankfully, due to the time passage and me banging my head against the wall playing Sonic Boom, I seem to have forgotten. So shh. And let's close off this list with... some of you may remember that round about 2016 I made a video effectively rage-quitting TF2. Now, in my defense, I still say that the Meet Your Match update was awful, and it did legitimately ruin the fun of the game for me. And also in my defense, I didn't play for over 3 years. But I was convinced to give the game another try and, well, I fell in love all over again. Thankfully, Valve had walked back many of the worst additions from Meet Your Match, and overall the game seemed to be working fine. Then, in a bold move, Valve decided to move Man vs. Machine into casual multiplayer, causing the bots to roam freely in matches and I'm kidding. I'm talking about the bots. Everyone knows about the bots. Even you. Jimmy, you know about the bots. The bots that have plagued this game for literal months before we the players heard word one from Valve about it. Thankfully, it seems that baby steps are being taken, but it's rough. All of that being said, I never really lost my love for the game. I can be in an incredibly pitched battle in one game, then immediately move to a server where both teams go friendly. I can hone my skills in each of the 9 classes, or I could run around with meme loadouts. Honestly, if you've never played TF2, I'd still give it a shot. 1, because it's fantastic. 2, it's free. And 3, despite not having a major update in over 1,000 days, TF2 has seen its highest player count since 2012. RIP Rick May. Well, that's more or less what I've been up to. Don't worry, folks, I'll be around. Besides, I've got a 10-year anniversary video to make later this year.